Instead of humans running from a monster, we're finally inside the Predator's world. This is told from the perspective of Dek, who is a young Yautja warrior trying to prove his worth to his clan and his father who leads it. But tragedy hits early with Dek's father needing for Dek and his brother to prove their honor and worth in the clan, which eventually leads to their father slaying Dek's brother, which is quite the shocking move, and it sends Dek on a journey of survival, revenge, and honor. This is easily the most mythic and emotional a Predator story has ever felt. We get full-blown insight into the Yautja species, including their clans, their ritual, their tribalism, and even their sense of code and honor. It's a full-on sci-fi adventure, but wrapped in a thriller and horror of dangerous alien species. It still delivers that kind of brutal, visceral violence that fans expect. Dek's journey leads to some insane set pieces, plus memorable alien creatures, with him crashing on a dangerous planet full of hostile fauna and flora. But it's not just blood and gore, it's about full-on evolution. The film evolves from the classic Predator vs. Prey story and expands into legacy, honor, and pushes the franchise into new territory. Now, this is where Badlands gets really interesting, as after crash landing on the violent planet full of fauna and flora, Dek encounters Thea, an android synthetic, and here's where the universe really starts to expand, as Thea is a synthetic android created by Weyland-Yutani, who is that infamous corporation we know from the Alien franchise and universe. And while there is sadly no xenomorph in this movie, the inclusion of Weyland-Yutani quietly sets the stage for something bigger. As to what that is, only time will tell. The movie's final act really does seal the whole movie as being a definitive entry in the Predator franchise. We see Dek face off against Tessa, who is an evil synthetic, also played by Ali Fanning, in a dual role. And after a brutal, gory showdown, Dek finally gets the upper hand on Tessa and finishes off with the classic skull and spine rip finisher. Though the film does not truly end here, as Dek returns home and challenges his father after his quest of revenge and does get the upper hand in defeating him. Dek proves that he is more than worthy in terms of his combat and besting his father, and in a poetic twist, the creature that Dek befriended on the hostile planet delivers the final blow, this being a full-on decapitation that feels both primal and symbolic. As the film begins to end, it teases the next chapter as Dek, Tessa, and the creature look on and see a fleet of ships entering orbit and honing in on them. As Dek looks on, he says, "It's my mother," and then the film ends. That line really hits hard and sets up the future to come. And as for any of you that don't know, this actually harkens back to the Yautja species as a whole and their society, as the females of the species are the matriarchs.